All right, guys. So first clip we're gonna talk about is this one. This one's called "Warning," long clip. Sounds like they're talking about Schaub. Let's start the clip here.
Yeah. So there's a few guys you take them on the road. They didn't whatever it is, they didn't have the extra horsepower to make it up the hill. It's like, listen, man, you got to get up that hill.
Yeah.
Like, no one's gonna help you. I can't hold your hand. You got to get up that hill on your own. It's the only way to do this. Damn. Some people don't make it up the hill, bro. Yeah, even though you love them, they don't make it up the hill.
Oh, yeah, that's very true. Also, if you guys don't know, that's Eric Poston right there. He used to work with Brendan and Theo Vaughn for the King of the Sting. If you guys don't remember him, a long time ago.
Kiss, Louis C.K., Dave Chappelle.
Oh, Dave Chappelle.
Dane Cook would make out with you. Nick Swartzen.
Here's
Nick
the
Swartzen
thing.
would definitely make out.
Bill Bellamy.
Yeah.
Ooh.
The shit out you, Bill. What's up?
And I guess he like quit that gig because he got better in stand-up and was able to draw more people into his show, so he didn't need Schaub or Theo anymore.
You love them. You think they're great guys. They want you to still take them on the road. And like, hey, man, you got to make it up the hill. You got to make it up the hill. I can't have you bombing everywhere. You know.
I've seen people ask you to try to go up on the Rogan and Friends, and it's like, you try, you help some people. It's just, and then it's just
When they bomb, it's awful.
It's awful.
Yeah.
Especially when the crowd's so like Hassan just murdered and Brian just murdered. You know, and then it's like it's just like, oh no.
Yeah. Gotta make it up.
Okay, I get why they might be referring to Brandon there because right in the end he said Brian there. But it is true. It's like you thinking that just because you're friends with Joe, like it means that you're not gonna bomb in front of people. Yeah, that's I don't think logically that will help you out. Like, it's not like people are like respecting Joe. Is like, yeah, this guy knows Joe Rogan, guys. Don't boo this man.
Get up the hill. But you can. And just because you have a bad set that night, it doesn't mean everybody's writing you off. But if you don't adjust, if you don't course correct, you're going to continue to have bad sets. You got to figure out what am I doing wrong? Like, what is different about what I'm doing than these people that are doing it really good?
That's the best part of watching them.
But the thing is, comedy is a weird art form in that there's no real place where you can learn it other than doing it.
Yeah.
You could learn how to play guitar, I mean, some of the great guitar players, they're self-taught, but you could learn. You could go to a place, they could teach you how to play guitar. They could teach you online. There's tons of tutorials on how to learn how to play guitar.
Well, I mean, I think for Brandon and his stand-up, it's very different, right? It's very much of gay bro humor.
I'm not used to this. Dallas a little different. There's some ladies in the crowd tonight. I am not used to that. My demo, 18 to 36 bros. That's what I specialize in. It's a real cockfest usually at these things. I don't mind it though. I'm the bro whisperer. That's what they call me.
He does make fun of himself a little bit, but some of these jokes that he says, they don't have much of a punchline into them. They're just kind of stories, right? But you can do something with stories, but Schaub kind of like, I don't know, maybe he doesn't get like, help or get recommendation or gets criticized for his stuff, and maybe that's why he's not like improving in his stand-up.
That are free. You can get them on YouTube. Learn how to play guitar. You're not going to learn how to do comedy.
You can't.
Yeah, you got to do it.
It's so personal. That's what makes it so beautiful, bro. It's so personal.
And there's a lot of really funny people that aren't funny on stage.
That's weird.
How does that? It's
Weird.
It doesn't make sense sometimes.
Right, it's weird. It's weird when you see them bomb on stage and you see them in real life and they're funny. Like, what is going on?
And then
I think there's a difference, right? Being funny with your friends compared to being funny to a general audience is different, right? It's like I can cook, right? I can cook, really well personally, but to have cameras and have people look at me cook gets you nervous, right? So it's understandable. I get that.
almost like you'll see him in the green room and there'll be the comedian, and then they go on stage and they like, but no, let me become a comedian, like what I think a comedian is.
So aware that they're performing. So aware not locked into the thought at all, but instead hoping for a good result with every word that comes out of their mouth. Yeah.
Hoping for a good result.
Yeah, it's that feeling in the air of desperation.
Oh.
You know?
The crowd can taste
You
it.
ever see a desperate dude trying to hit on a girl? It's the saddest shit of all time. It's like he smells like shit, and she's just trying to
Can you walk me to my truck? Yeah, that's the desperation.
get away with it. Get away from him. You know, because desperation stinks.
It
It
does.
stinks on girls too. It stinks on everybody. It stinks on comedians. It stinks. Desperation stinks. We don't like it. It's uncomfortable. I don't want to feel that way. So I want you to be having fun. You know, when I see someone like Schultz at the roast, he's having fun.
Yeah.
I want to be watching a person who's having fun. I don't want to be watching someone who's like, even if your comedy is really well written, it's gonna suck if you're desperate.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, watching someone have fun. God, watching that fucking guy Schultz. That's fucking.
Yeah.
He makes a point there, like if you be yourself, if you're being yourself, then people can see that, right? People can see that being genuine to the people, and they'll be like, oh, this guy's like genuinely having fun. He's not trying to maybe kind of like stir things and not, be fake, right? And people can see that if people see you doing something else, and then they see you doing something else that you don't really do much often, or it's kind of weird to see you there, and you're trying to be a different person, and you're like, then people are like, well, just go back to who you are, and people are gonna start liking you again.
Starting emergency call to the SOS service provided by the manufacturer. To cancel, press the SOS or cancel button. Starting SOS call.
But with a lot of people that are not very self-conscious of how they're supposed to be, they fake who they are, and at the end of the day, they're not comfortable being there in that position. And I guess Schultz is a guy that's like very like he's grabbing people, and he's very moving around stuff and things like that, and people see that because he does that on his podcast, so you're kind of like, oh yeah, this is him, right? Like,
I mean, even him and Akash don't take things this far. And, him and Akash are usually on the same page. Like, they're always just grabbing each other and shaking each other's legs and stuff. But when Schultz does this with his guests, it always is pretty uncomfortable. Like, he was also doing this recently with Dave Portnoy as well. And obviously, he didn't take it anywhere near as far as he did with Logan. But I think he was still getting on Dave's nerves a little bit, because Dave would be in the middle of talking, and then Akash and Schultz would just burst out laughing and start hollering and screaming. And Dave doesn't really laugh at anything, so he just kind of sits there. But then Schultz will grab him and start shaking him around, which I don't think he's too thrilled about. And this first clip is something else. Schultz starts doing this deranged laugh, and then he grabs Dave and starts to shake him. And then you can see Akash, I think he's about to do the same thing, and he puts his hand on Dave's leg and then takes it away right away, because he probably realizes he doesn't look like he's very comfortable with this. And it's kind of weird, two grown men grabbing another guy's legs and shaking him.
Yeah.
Was
fantastic.
yeah.
Shakespeare in Love.
I'm not.
I mean,
what? Move on. I had a great point. You're never gonna hear it. That point's gone.
it's annoying, it's obnoxious, but you can see that he's actually being genuine.
He has a good ass time,
Man.
and he's enjoying all of the success. He's enjoying every step of the way. That's very important too, because a lot of people get upset that people promote things and show them on stage killing it, but you gotta understand, like that's you. That's on you.
That's
like,
on you.
He's celebrating success. This is gratitude in a physical form. If that bothers you, that's you.
What you want me to do, man?
That's your problem.
So yeah, I'm gonna just stop that there because it is a long clip, and I guess you can kind of see why the subreddit might be thinking it's Schaub, because he kind of mentions Brian Callen's name there. Yeah, I mean, and it's also because now in hindsight we know that Schaub is slowing down his stand-up comedy, and is being more engaging. Or he's engaging more into his content on YouTube and whatnot. Maybe he's starting to finally realize that comedy, stand-up comedy, isn't doing so great for him, and the best thing to do is just pivot, right? Which is, I get that, I understand that, and Joe can see that from a mile away, like being with comedians that he's also built on, based around his name and how they use his name. There's some people that you can see that they can change, right? But and then there's some people that just are kind of helpless out there, and they won't change because they don't want to. And I think a lot of people can see that in Brandon, that he doesn't want to change his style. He doesn't want to maybe improve or have better writing. Who knows, right? Who knows? Let me know what you guys think about that. Like, this is all just assumptions here.